Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You joined me today on a bit of an impromptu bimble, and I'm joined by Mrs H.
Hello.
Who's on camera duties. Long time since you've been on camera duties, Mrs H.
It is.
And we've left the Bambino with my in-laws, Mrs H's parents. And we've come today to Blackburn for a bit of a bimble. We just woke up this morning and decided we'd do this, didn't we?
We did. What's something to do for today, and we've always wanted to come to this thing.
So there's no research for today's video, but it's a video that many of you have been asking me to do, and that is Darwen Tower, which is up on the moors, or Jubilee Tower as it's officially known. Now, as I said, I've not done any research on this. We've just got up and decided to do this, and sometimes these turn out to be the best videos without any planning. Now, we're at a point here where the tower is sort of right up that hill there, and there's a stone here with the tower carved in it, and we're just debating whether to use this path or follow the official instructions that Mrs H has found. Which one are we going to go for, Mrs H?
I don't know. Whichever one we do a bit wrong way, we'll end up going 10 mile out of our...
As always, but we will get there, and we'll take a look at it when we get up there. Now, I will warn you, it is windy, although there's no wind at this point. Once we get up there, it should be quite windy, and I do apologise for the wind, but there's nothing we can do about that. Anyway, without further ado, let's crack on, and let's make our way up to Darwen Tower, Mrs H, yeah?
Let's go.
We're going that way?
Yeah, go on.
You've made this decision, not me, remember.
Hit the wrong one, it always is.
Well, Hot Potters, in the end, we chose neither path, didn't we, Mrs H?
No.
As we was debating which way to go, a woman came past and said, you look like you're struggling there, do you need a bit of help? So we explained what we were trying to do and where we were trying to get to. And she offered us a third path, didn't she, Mrs H? And that's the one we've taken, which is a bit more gentle. It is further away from the tower, you can just see it there, behind me in the distance. However, you don't have to go up short and fast, and it's not loose underfoot, because we never come prepared with footwear, do we, Mrs H?
Oh, no, I'm in Crocs and you're in wellies.
Exactly, but that's how we like to roll, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So we're now going to make our way along this path, and hopefully it will lead round and over to the tower, where we'll be able to get some good shots. I think you can get inside it as well, Mrs H, and go for a bit of a walk round. Okay. What we'll have to do, or I'll have to do, as we're making our way around, is do a quick Wikipedia and get a little bit of info. I think it was built for Queen Victoria's Jubilee, but don't quote me on that at this point. Anyway, come on, let's carry on, Mrs H.
Told you we'd end up going the long way.
Yeah, 10 miles out of our way, that's the way the H is rolling. Well, folks, we've made it, haven't we, Mrs H?
We have.
Just one last little short walk up there, and we'll actually be able to take a good look around it. I'll do a little bit of information about it inside, because as Mrs H has rightly said, it might not be as windy. There is a Trig Point, Mrs H. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
That white triangular pillar. We'll take a look at that as we're going past. We might as well take it in, eh?
Yeah.
Walk and talk. Have you found this walk, Mrs H?
Not a bit too bad.
No, it's
Not be that muddy, actually, is
there's
it?
a number of footpaths around. Some more steeper than others. That one that we took, I think, was the best one.
It was.
But there's lots of little benches around as well, so if you want a bit of a rest on your way up, you can park your backside, so to speak. And it's a lovely stunning view over the Darwen and Blackburn area, this.
It is beautiful. Oh, clouds.
Reservoir just down there. And here's an interesting one. Do you remember when we was up on Winter Hill that time? We went and took a look at that Trig Point.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't seen that video, I'll put a link in there for you. Well, you can just make this monument out from that Trig Point. Sort of funny, you can see the points from each of these. Now this is the survey. I do apologise for that wind. A bit of a commemorative plaque on there. And these aren't used now, but you still shouldn't damage them. You should still look after them because they're a little part of history. Anyway, let's make our way in there. I think you can go right up to the top.
Oh, yeah, it's very cool. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So we're inside, Hot Potters. And it was built to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria in 1898, apparently, Mrs H.
Wow.
And it also celebrates the fact that local people can access the moorland. So it's sort of a double celebration. It was opened on the 24th of September in 1898. We'll make our way up now. It's in 3 levels. We just met somebody coming down. They've been up there. And apparently it's in 3 stages so you can rest. It's quite a few steps though. This is like a spiral stone staircase.
It's very beautiful, isn't it?
And do you know why they used to build them this way, Mrs H?
Go on.
Because when there was in castles and churches and they used to be defending back in the medieval time, most people are right-handed. And the idea is, as you're walking up, you can't pull your sword out and fight because you'll be banging into the wall. That's why they build staircases this way. So if you had an army of left-handed people, you'd have been able to take anything over, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
You'd have been a world superpower. It's good to see that they put that perspex in glass in these so you've not got the wind battering through.
Yeah. And all the birds roosting.
I bet the original architect didn't think that through, did he?
Yeah.
Right, I'll make my way up, Mrs H. Just a short one, this one. So this is the first level, and you can actually walk around the outside. It's octagonal in shape, this tower, and like I say, you've got a terrific view of over Darwen. Down there, Mrs H, see that mill there?
Yeah.
That's India Mill, that's one of Fred Dibner's chimneys that he climbed. And it's the most ornate one in Lancashire. I will do a video on that at some point, but that was one of Fred's personal ones. If ever you watch the Fred Dibner videos and you see the one where he climbs out, like as he's climbing up, he has to climb out and climb up, that's the chimney. And apparently when they opened that, Mrs H, they had a big banquet on the top. When they opened that mill, that's the legend, that they all went up there and had a big banquet. But it was a bit windy.
I bet it was.
I bet your chips would get cold up there.
Yeah.
So, are you ready for the next level?
Yeah, let's go.
Beautiful tower, this. Obviously, there's been some work done on this over the years. Make your way through this door again.
Oh, back up the spiral steps.
And up the spiral steps again. Seems like somebody's up there already. And this is the second level, which is internal. You can't walk around the outside at this point, can you, Mrs H? What you have to do is look through these windows, and as I said, they put perspex in them. You still get a good view, although it's a little bit stilted, isn't it? You can't see through them. Now, what you can do is go up to the top. It's a bit like a lighthouse. So you get to this point, and then there's this little Victorian iron style staircase. And that's what we want to make our way up.
Yeah, off you go. You can go first.
Good job, I'm not afraid of heights, Mrs H. Oh yes, you can go inside.
I'll actually get windy if it's high up.
It is. Look at this. Top of the world, Mark.
Sorry, I dropped the phone.
And here we are. It's like a little lighthouse thing that's been added to this. I wonder if they lit this up for the late Queen's Jubilee. So it could be seen like a lighthouse. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Obviously, you can see different things that are on it, and those are the things in the distance, and then they've got the distances on it. Unfortunately, somebody's been scratching at that. Vandalism. That donated to people by Stephen Hartley, so he put the actual top on, and that's concrete, that isn't it? That's been
Blown off.
2010. No, it doesn't say anything though that it was lit up.
Oh, where's your old
You've got all the
graffiti?
all the old graffiti on here. Seems vandalism has always been a problem. People leaving the names and marks. There's probably one of those plaques there as well telling you what's off in that distance, Winter Hill, etc. But surprisingly, it's quiet up here. We've only seen a few people, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's a Saturday, so
Yeah, that's
there's a few people walking about. Maybe on the way.
perhaps.
Is that the plaques after?
Yes, they've been all round. I wonder if these were to take water at some point. So they're worth coming here and visiting.
It is.
So we're just making our way back down now. We're at the second level, aren't we?
We are.
And I have a theory that this stone here, when people get to the top of this point, they plonk the backside down on it. I'll demonstrate. You come up. Mind you, bang your head as well. Well,
Yeah, you've still got another level to go to.
You have. And there's a drain pipe that runs all the way through this to take the water away. Now there are a number of plaques carved into the stone around the edge.
Yeah.
And I'll show you to commemorate certain parts of this being built.
Okay.
Just that was plastic. But I'm not going to do any talking about that bit because of the wind. And then we'll wrap this video up this stage, yeah?
Okay.
Enjoyed it coming in.
Yeah, it's been nice. Nice change.
It's like,
Although we're going to have to come again because Toby will see it and then he'll want to come.
exactly, you'll see the video and say, I want to go there. Although I'm sure he's been spoiled at his nanny and granddad's.
Oh, definitely.
Right, back to the first level. So back at the bottom, and I'll now take the camera from Mrs H and we'll just take a look at those stone plaques. So what, Potters, that'll just about do it for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's little impromptu video. Like I said, sometimes these can be the best ones. No planning with this one, we just decided to come here today for a bit of a bimble, myself and Mrs H. So, we're going to make our way back to the old jalopy now because the rain started to come in up here, that fine stuff that wets you, and we don't want any of that, do we? I hope you've enjoyed today's little video, taking a look at Jubilee Tower, officially known as Darwen Tower. I got it wrong further down there, I just thought I'd correct myself before anybody else did. We're going to get back now and I'm going to head off to the old homestead and edit up all this footage ready for your edification. So, until the next time, from myself, Mr H, and Mrs H, it is bye-bye for now. Come on, Mrs H, let's get out of here.
Bye.